If not me, who? And if not now, when? If what you have done yesterday still looks big to you, you haven't done much today. I believe in the cosmos. All of us are linked to the cosmos. So nature is my God. To me, nature is sacred. Trees are my temples and forests are my cathedrals. Being at one with nature. A new generation of more educated people started to be active. Then society required freedom. Society demanded freedom. Peace is not unity and similarity but unity and diversity, in the comparison and conciliation of differences. If you are not moving forward, you are moving backward. My life's work has been accomplished. I did all that I could. It is better to see once than to hear 100 times. We have retreated from the perennial values. I don't think that we need any new values. The most important thing is to try to revive the universally known values from which we have retreated. One day we took each other by the hand and went for a walk in the evening. And we walked like that for our whole life. The market came with the dawn of civilization, and it is not an invention of capitalism. If it leads to improving the well-being of the people, there is no contradiction with socialism. Life is much richer and more complex than even the most perfect plans to make it better. History teaches us, however, that when the times are ripe for change and the government refuses or is unable to change, either society starts to decay or a revolution begins. Ideological and political intolerance, even with the best and most sincere intentions, produces results that are the direct opposite of those intended. All this requires taking certain tactical steps to search for various ways of addressing both short and long-term tasks. Such efforts and political and economic steps, agreements based on reasonable compromise, are there for everyone to see. Peace is not unity and similarity but unity and diversity, in the comparison and conciliation of differences. It is better to discuss things, to argue and engage in polemics than make perfidious plans of mutual destruction. When future generations judge those who came before them on environmental issues, they may conclude they didn't know. Let us not go down in history as the generations who knew, but didn't care. We must treat water as if it were the most precious thing in the world, the most valuable natural resource. Be economical with water. Don't waste it. We still have time to do something about this problem before it is too late. We need a new environmental consciousness on a global basis. To do this, we need to educate people. We need a new system of values, a system of the organic unity between humankind and nature and the ethic of global responsibility. More socialism means more democracy, openness and collectivism in everyday life. We are all passengers aboard one ship, the Earth, and we must not allow it to be wrecked. There will be no second Noah's Ark. When future generations judge those who came before them on environmental issues, they may conclude they didn't know. Let us not go down in history as the generations who knew, but didn't care. Those who are late will be punished by life itself. You cannot go to sleep with one form of economic system and wake up the next morning with another. Dangers await only those who do not react to life. We have no right ever to forget that psychological warfare is a struggle for winning people's minds. History is a capricious creature. It depends on who writes it. Sometimes it's difficult to accept, to recognize one's own mistakes, but one must do it. I was guilty of overconfidence and arrogance, and I was punished for that. I support freedom and I support a free market economy. But it should be a socially oriented market economy. I support globalization, but it should be globalization with a human face. We were nearly one of the last to realize that in the age of information science the most expensive asset is knowledge. I began to feel the desire for something more. I wanted to do something to make things better. Sometimes, the decisions have to be taken in minutes, even seconds, and there would be no time to make the right decision. We understood that this could have ended in catastrophe. God has given us enough wisdom to make improvements in our relations. People, human beings with all their creative diversity, are the makers of history. Ideally, peace means the absence of violence. It is an ethical value. Today, peace means the ascent from simple coexistence to cooperation and common creativity among countries and nations. It would be naive to think that the problems plaguing mankind today can be solved with means and methods which were applied or seemed to work in the past. We are not abandoning our convictions, our philosophy or traditions, nor do we urge anyone to abandon theirs.